There are moments when a person you lost or a decision you deeply regret doesn't actually feel like history. It feels like it is happening right now. You tell yourself you have moved on, but if you look closely at your habits, you might realize you are still building your entire current life around something that happened years ago. This trap hides in plain sight because it rarely looks like sadness. Instead, it masquerades as anger, a deep sense of nostalgia, or constantly blaming yourself. We are told that the past is supposed to be a teacher, but without even realizing it, that classroom can easily turn into an emotional freezer, a place where your personal growth simply stops. To figure out if you are still carrying something you should have already released, we can look at 7 distinct, often hidden signs that your past is still making your decisions for you. The first sign is that you still hold grudges. You replay an old betrayal, imagining what you should have said. The truth is that the person who hurt you has probably moved on, while you are the only one still paying an emotional tax for their behavior. Forgiving them does not mean pretending the damage never happened. It means making an active choice to refuse to let that damage become your permanent identity. Sign 2 is relentless self-blame. You made a bad choice, and now when a new project fails, your brain connects it back to that mistake. Taking responsibility helps you grow, but attacking yourself keeps you trapped. That mistake is simply a chapter, not a permanent verdict. Sign 3 swings in the exact opposite direction, romanticizing the past. We naturally look back at school or an old relationship and think of those as the perfect days, but memory is flawed. It preserves the laughter and the freedom, completely editing out the loneliness and uncertainty that existed right alongside them. You end up comparing a complicated, messy reality against a selectively edited highlight reel. It is a rigged comparison that makes the present feel insufficient. These first 3 signs represent the mind distorting history, either amplifying pain or fabricating perfection, which ultimately steals the ability to participate in the present. Sign 4 dives deeper into that distortion, the constant obsession with what if. What if you had taken that other job? Your mind creates the illusion that somewhere out there, a perfect alternate timeline exists where everything worked out exactly as you wanted. Reflecting on a bad decision is useful. Reliving it every night is toxic. At a certain point, you have to stop dwelling on the possibilities you lost and start looking for the possibilities you haven't discovered yet. If you don't make that pivot, you run into sign 5, rejecting new opportunities. A new job appears, or an interesting person enters your life, and you find a reason to avoid them. Your brain remembers pain, actively blocking new situations to prevent you from feeling it again. But that protection becomes a prison. By rejecting anything unfamiliar, you allow an old experience to make decisions about a future it knows nothing about, which leads directly to sign 6, a total lack of excitement. You wake up, you work, you eat, you scroll, you sleep. You are surviving your daily routine, but you are not actually looking forward to anything meaningful. That numbness creates the deepest symptom of all, sign 7, having zero vision for what comes next. When someone asks where you see yourself in a few years, your mind goes blank because the unknown feels entirely overwhelming. An unhappy, painful past often feels safer than a hopeful future, simply because the ending of the past is already known. Being trapped in the past represents a subconscious surrender to the fear of uncertainty. If you recognize yourself in any of these 7 signs, do not use that realization as another excuse to criticize yourself. Treat it as objective information. The goal here is not to erase your history. Your past explains you. It teaches you and it shapes you, but it does not have the right to control you. You are not your worst moments. You are not your biggest mistakes, and you are certainly not limited to the version of yourself that existed 5 or 10 years ago. Moving on does not mean forgetting. It is the powerful, quiet realization that your life is still happening, right now. Stop waiting for the past to give you permission to move forward. Take the lesson, release the weight, and turn the page. And if you want to understand the mind that has been holding you back, subscribe to Brain Library. Your next chapter is ready to be written.